Hello people of the internet. This week I have been working on migrating some of our projects from Pagure.io to GitHub. To give you some context, so basically we have this Git forge called Pagure, and it has been used for several years to host some Fedora projects. You can imagine like there is a lot of Fedora developers and many teams, and they form many teams, and those teams tend to operate on their own. So some host their projects on GitHub, some host their projects on Pagure, some host their projects on GitLab, whatever. It's it's up to the people and teams where they host their stuff. But my team, or the team I'm part of, which is Copper, had some of the projects on Pagure because of historical reasons, but mainly we do our stuff on GitHub. So this always kind of it was always kind of painful to have stuff on both, because we, for example, used GitHub projects or GitHub projects like Kanban and so on. So we always used that, and it wasn't possible to add the Pagure issues, but it was okay because we left only some low traffic projects on Pagure. The thing is, Pagure.io is going to be shut down. I don't know when, but I think at this point the project or the forge is read only, and you cannot create a new project. And sometime in the future it is going to be shut down because Fedora moves towards Forgio, which is here. But the purpose of Forge Fedora project, in my understanding, is a little bit different than the purpose of Pagure.io. I think Fedora, like the forge.fedoraproject.org, I think the purpose here is to host some like Fedora specific project management stuff. Like all I've seen so far here, maybe it changed, but all I have seen so far here was just like issue trackers and stuff like that, and documentation pages, but not really code. I'm not sure. Maybe that changed, but I think the purpose wasn't to have like a general software hosting site. But anyway, we wanted to move the projects to GitHub because the rest of our stuff are on GitHub anyway. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of context that there is the forge change happening. Now, if we go back to the ticket, you can see these were the projects I needed to migrate this week, and I already did 3 of them. Maybe I can assign myself here. I did these 3. I have no clue what I'm going to do with the documentation yet, because check this out. If we open the documentation, it's basically a website. It's a statically hosted website on this domain, docs.pagure.org. Same for this one. It's statically hosted site here. So since they are statically hosted, it will be trivial to host them anywhere. The thing is, we wanted to preserve the URLs to not break any links that are already out there on the internet. So that will be the most complicated part, probably. I'm skipping these for a moment. And I wanted to migrate this with you. So yeah, let me show you. I created a migration script because we could do that, like, of course, migrating the code is trivial. The thing is, we needed to, let me show you, for example, the APKG util. So this was the original project, and it had some issues, right? It had some pull requests, yeah. The thing is, somewhere in the code there are references like C hashtag 53 or I don't know, related to an issue number whatever 51. And if we created a new project on GitHub and started creating like issues again, then the numbers would misalign, right? Because we would start from 1 again. So 51 would then mean something completely different than this. So that's why we needed to create at least some placeholder issues on GitHub to block the already taken issue numbers and to start continuing from, like, this was 52. What is the pull request, highest pull request? 53. So yeah, so the next issue would be 54, right? We needed the next issue number to be 54, not 1. So I created a script. I cannot say I wrote it because I vibe coded it, but I created a script which does basically that. So if you need to migrate your projects, I don't know if you already, if you still have something on Pagure, we have this fedora-copper/Pagure to GitHub project, and it is documented here. So the usage is very, like, the code isn't that disgusting, even though I vibe coded it. I don't know what's the right term. I didn't write a single line of code, but I reviewed all of them, basically. So the code is like 300 lines, and it does, I will show you what it does in action. And the code is readable. The main, like, the most disgusting part of that is basically somewhere we call just the API, somewhere we call, we use a client, somewhere we use, I think, a library. Like, there are multiple ways we touch the API. It works. It could benefit from some refactoring, but I mean, it was a one-off script, and nobody will need to use that in a year, because in a year Pagure will be dead probably. So I mean, this is the case where I am fine with vibe coding. You have seen me use AI in my other videos where we code stuff, and you can see I always ask AI questions and write the code myself, because I need to maintain that code. And for example, Copper code base is 15 years old. Nobody could maintain that if it was generated, because nobody would know anything. So yeah, I always ask AI stuff, but this is the one use case where I'm like fine with vibe coding it, because why not? It works, and and I don't need to understand that code in a year. Anyway, so let's migrate the project. I've talked for long enough. So I have it here, and the instructions are: make sure you have your API token set. So this uses GH, the official GH command. It is because we don't have to deal with GitHub API, because you probably already have GH installed and authenticated, because you probably use it, at least I do. We needed to export a Pagure token, that's true, but creating one is very simple. And now here is the actual usage. So we need to define a source variable, meaning the source project. So if we go to the ticket, it's this, right? Oops. Then we need to create or define the destination. So if you go here, we know we want the project under Fedora Copper, and there are some discussions how we want to name it. This one project, all of them we migrated like one-to-one naming, but this one we wanted to rename. So Pavel suggests here, can this be renamed to Copper Frontend Red Template? I wanted to name this Copper Frontend Red Hat because this package maintains a template for Copper Frontend, which is used by the internal Copper. And basically, you can see this is the Fedora Copper. It uses blue color, and there is Fedora Copper in the logo, and so it uses like red colors, blue color scheme, and so on. I don't know if I said red. If when I mentioned this, I'm sorry, blue, of course. It uses the Fedora Blue, probably the historical Fedora Blue, not the current Fedora Blue, but yeah, whatever. But which is provided by a package called Copper Frontend Fedora. And we also have Copper Frontend Red Hat package, which provides colors like red color scheme, red color scheme basically, and a different logo here and so on. Probably different links in the footer and so on. So the package is named Copper Frontend Red Hat. And I think I will name the project the same way. I don't really like the Copper Frontend Red template. So yeah, let's do. Of course, GitHub project can be renamed, and once it is renamed, the GitHub somehow automatically provides redirects. So yeah, we can rename that if Pavel can rename that if he thinks it is a good idea. So we will, of course, then define Fedora Copper / Copper Frontend Red Hat, right? Now, if we check the instructions, we need to create the project. So it uses the variables, so we don't have to adjust the command. We will use just this. We can click this to make sure it exists, and yeah, it is an empty repository. Now, the next step. So when we run this, when we run this, you can see this is the main.py, the script that I vibe coded, and it takes -p meaning Pagure project, -g meaning GitHub project, and then this. This is an action that is going to be done. So I wanted the migration to be several step process, not everything at one command. So when we run this one, we will create issues on GitHub that will match the issues on Pagure. What about pull requests? We could, of course, create something that would like resubmit the pull requests at GitHub. We don't need that. We just need a placeholder to basically take up the ID and have the comments there, but we actually don't create a pull request as a pull request. We create a pull request as an issue because it's easier. I will show you. So I'm running the command. This will not touch the original Pagure project. Therefore, if something goes wrong here, nobody gets hurt because we can easily remove the project and create a new one, right? I've done that many times when working on the previous ones. So unfortunately, we don't have any pull requests, so I will show you on a different project. Anyway, let's click on this. So see the first one. So basically this is a pull request. Okay, cool. So basically this is on GitHub, and we can see like comment like this, right? So the original issue was this. It was originally opened at that time, and originally it was opened by Frostix, which is me, and you can see down at the bottom it is pointing to accounts.fedoraproject.org, because we cannot, like we could, but I don't want to deal with that, meaning I don't want to deal with matching the Fedora account usernames to GitHub usernames. So I basically linked the Fedora account here, right? And we can see this is still one comment. This is still the issue description, and these are summarized comments from the previous from the original pull request. So and you can see also, like originally it was pull request, now we are looking at issue, right? So if I jump to the original pull request, we can see the pull request, we can see the same comments here, right? We can see the code which we cannot see on GitHub, but that is the one thing I'm willing to lose. I don't want to lose the comment history though. So yeah, this one, so add instructions for building and deploying, add instructions for building and deploying. That's cool. I did a PR here. We could do a PR label, but then somebody would have to create it beforehand, which is annoying. So we put the PR in the comments, in the summary here. So let's take a look at another one. Let's do at least some to make sure it migrated correctly. So this was also a pull request. If we click to this, so update list, it is the correct one. Cool. Migrate from internal IRC to Slack. Migrate from internal IRC to Slack. Let's say there is this. I also bumped the spec. I also bumped the spec. So yeah, it was migrated correctly. It seems does this have any issues? No, there are no issues. So we actually migrated only pull requests. Like, this was a very small repo. I wouldn't write the script because of this repo, right? But we had bigger ones like the RPKG util and so on, where there was many issues and many pull requests, and therefore it came handy. I would still probably do it manually, but I kind of want to use this on Fedora review tool, which is massive, right? Massive. This would be annoying to do manually, right? So yeah. If we go, so I think our first step went just fine. The next step, this one, would be this will close all Pagure issues and pull requests, which they are already closed for that one project. But it will also go to every issue and pull request, even closed, and say, hey, this was migrated to GitHub, and put a link there, right? So this is the one we cannot screw up, because we are commenting into an existing project with people subscribing to that and so on. So we want this to be smooth. So I kind of want to do this part first, make sure everything is okay, and do this one as a last step, right? But as I said, Copper Frontend Red Hat is a very, very, very small project, so nobody is subscribed to that. So this is the fine project where you can screw up. I'm kind of sad I didn't do this one earlier and didn't do something more complicated with you, so you could see, so you can see something more interesting. For example, when I migrated the RPKG util, I figured there was kind of a lot of issues, 41, and I figured, hey, there are missing IDs, actually missing IDs. For example, if we go to I think issue number 6, right? This is 404, like the issue doesn't exist. I had no idea you can basically delete a ticket, like, so it has absolutely no reference and doesn't appear in the issue list and so on. I kind of, yeah, surprised me. So for example, I needed to adjust the script to see if there are any gaps in the IDs and create like a blank issues in that situation. So I can show you, for example, the RPKG util. This was interesting. RPKG util issues, and there was the issue number 6, right? I can access it via the URL like before, and check this out. I migrated it like this. So I adjusted the script. So if it finds out there is a gap, we migrated basically this to take up the space, right? So I needed to do tweaks like that to make the script working. So if you need to do your own migration from Pagure, I kind of suggest to use the script. Of course, test it properly on some repo that you can mess up, but yeah, it worked for me. I migrated few projects already. So let's continue, right? So we are at the Fedora Copper Frontend Red Hat. So it is still an empty repository. We need to get the code here somehow, right? It is not documented here because it is not related to the, I mean, it is related to the migration, but it is not addressed by the script. You should figure out how to do that. So I will show you how to do that. But I need to put on some music first. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so I will show you how to do that. Okay, I don't want to use this terminal because I want to return back to it when I need to. So I have another. Let's pretend you didn't see this. So I already have, oops, daisy, cloned the repo, but I will remove it and clone it again so you can see the whole process. So it was called design originally, right? So I'm in TMP, so I can throw it away. This is not the project. This is the project, right? So I can click clone here, and let me use the SSH link so I can push directly. So I will clone the project. I will go to that directory, and then what branch do we have? We have master, so we want to change it to main on GitHub. So we want to basically do these steps, but little bit differently. So I'm going to edit the git config because I never remember my git remote commands. Too stupid for that. So I will copy this block and change this to Pagure, so it's painfully clear. This is Pagure, and this will be GitHub. We will have no origin. Now I will delete the URL and I will use the URL that they suggest to us, and I will close this. Right. So now, now I can change the main the branch to main, and I can push to not origin because we renamed it to GitHub. So I'm running GitHub here, and if we refresh this repo, we have the code. Nice, right? What is the next step? Create a branch to So now we probably want to like archive the old project and make sure nobody can do anything there, and of course to show people who accidentally appear there that this project was migrated. So what I like to do is something like this. I will git checkout a new branch, and I will borrow a message that I did already yesterday. So basically I will update the README and put this into the README. So if we edit the README here, we will put this here and remove everything, right? This is an incorrect link. We want to point to the new project, so we will put this here. Git status. If we check the diff, we are removing everything from the README and putting this link. And if we take a look, we are at the migrated branch, right? So I can add the README, I can update README, whatever, and I can push, right? I cannot do just this because if you remember, we don't have any origin. We have Pagure and GitHub remotes. So we cannot make a mistake and accidentally push somewhere we don't want to. So I need to now specifically, explicitly specify, I want to push this to Pagure. right? So this was pushed to Pagure. If I refresh, I should be able to see a branch called migrated with one commit, and it has like this readme. But if you visit this project, you still see the readme, the original readme. So this is not useful, right? So what I want to do is go to the settings and change git branches and specify that the default branch is the migrated branch. I make it the default. And while I am in project settings, I go to project options, issue tracker is read only. I will update that as well. Now, if we go to that project again, you can see we have this link that this project has been migrated to GitHub, right? We are not on a specific branch, we are on the default branch, and it already shows you it was migrated to GitHub. If I click the link, we go to the correct project, right? So, interestingly enough, we have 5 issues. Did we fuck up or not? Issues. Pull requests. 5. Oh, cool. Okay. For some reason, I thought it will be 4 of them. I'm getting some message. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Now, are we done? I think we are done, right? Archive, yeah, archive the old project. We did the read-only issue tracker, but we cannot do more because Pagure doesn't have an archiving feature, right? So we cannot like fully archive the project, but yeah. Oh no, we are not. I'm an idiot. Am I not? I didn't run the second command, right? Yeah. I'm talking to you and I'm completely forgetting to do stuff. So node read only update. We still need to run the second command, which is this one, right? So you can see the start of the command is the same as before, but now we do this close Pagure issues and PRs instead of this, right? So if we run this, it should comment on 5 tickets, basically. Yep, this was fast. If we open random one, we can see this comment. This PR has been migrated to GitHub as a placeholder issue. We open that and we can see it's the same one. Explicitly explain something, explicitly explain something, right? So good, we successfully linked that. That was the second command. Project options, read only. Now it is okay, right? So we cannot create a new issue. I don't know how to block PRs. Right, so are we done? I think we are. If we go to, oh, one more thing, description. So we can copy this and we can put it here. So let me push, create branch, archive, copy the set, copy the original project description to GitHub. I can type GitHub, right? So that was one thing. And I kind of keep a list of migrated projects with this script so that if somebody wants to use that, they can at least see when was the last time this was used and working. I think that's useful because I found some migration scripts on GitHub and they were, I don't know, 6 years old, and I kind of don't know when somebody used them the last time and if it worked and so on. So if the API changed in between and so on. So basically, if you come to a script and you can see, hey, it was used 14 days ago, you kind of are not worried that much. But yeah, if you see the last update 6 years ago, yeah, you are more cautious, I would say. So let me link the project. I don't know if it's probably not that useful, but hey, why not? So 2026 is today, second month, and 26. So you can see I migrated to one project the first day, 2 projects yesterday, and 1 project today. So let's update the README, add the migrated new projects, it's okay, and push this. Cool. So I think we are done with this project. It may happen it will be renamed. It may happen it will be made private, I don't know. We kind of want to keep it open, but yeah, we are done with that project. I've shown you this, it's fine. We can now triumphantly click this, finished. Now the documentation repos, I don't know. I will need to, I asked on Fedora infrastructure matrix and nobody responded yet, so I will leave it there for a couple of days and then I will start my own investigations. We can probably host this as GitHub pages, right? That should be easy. My blog is hosted as GitHub pages, Fedora GitHub, Fedora Copper GitHub IO project. This is of course GitHub pages. So yeah, we can for sure host this as GitHub pages. The thing is how to preserve the existing URLs. That would be the most complicated part. We can close this, right? So since this is supposed to be an hour in live and we still have 20 minutes, I want to continue working on something else. And the something else is my fuck up from the image builder that I did with you probably this week, last week, I don't really remember. So we worked on a feature which was basically this. We wanted to allow specifying AWS profile that should be used for uploading to AWS, right? Because you have your AWS credentials config and you can have multiple credentials there. You have default, but you can have 10 other credentials there, and you may not always want to use the default, right? Sometimes you want to use the whatever one. So So that's what we coded. This is the change to image builder CLI, meaning the command line tool, but we also needed a change to the library that it uses under the hood, and we did this pull request. Yeah, you can see this is default, this is the some other profile. The change wasn't that complicated, I think. Yeah, basically it is. So, and the meat of the change was basically setting this profile with the default to default and somewhere passing it somewhere. Passing it. No? Where the fuck is that? Yes, this here. This is the most important line, which broke stuff. So it turns out some people don't use the credentials config, which I didn't know. Sorry. In our team we use the credentials config, and I don't use AWS anywhere else. So yeah, it turns out somebody uses this, and therefore they don't want the config, and therefore they don't want to default to the default credential, right? They want to default to this environment variables. So that's how we break the code, by pushing or forcing there our default. So we need to change that to make people happy. Let's do that. So if we go to git image builder CLI cmd image builder, this is the right place, I think, and I have still open a tab here for the images underlying package or library that it uses called images. So if I git status here, we are main, we can pull rebase. Now, what branch are we? We are at the AWS profile. We should check out main, probably. Should we? Let's keep it. Nah, let's go main. Let's go main. Let's pull new stuff. I cannot type rebase for if my life dependent on it. So git pull rebase. I know I can set it to be a default. Yeah, I know. I will do that. I promise. Git pull rebase. Now, what we want to do is, yeah, we need to git stash pop. Hopefully there will be what I want it to be. Yeah, exactly this. So basically use images from my file system, not the latest released version from GitHub, so that I can do changes in that. And we can go build, right, to build the binary, and we can run it like this. This will fail because AWS profile is not available right now because we are on main. Yeah, exactly, cool. But if we do this, it works. It should start uploading. It doesn't because my default is not working, right? So let me, off screen of course, oops, I didn't want that. Off screen, you will look at this, I will take the terminal. So And I will do it in some other tab, so I accidentally opened that. So I'm opening in my home directory AWS credentials. And I can see there is no default basically because I was testing stuff. So I'm uncommenting default, and that's it. And now I'm going to here and running this again. It should start uploading. And if not, I have wrong token in the default. Yeah, it uploads. It was 30, it is 40 now. We can wait for one more tick. Yeah, you can see it is working now. So we are ready to start coding, right? We are ready to start coding. So let's find the code. So we will look for images, whatever. We will find our code by, allow specifying AWS credentials. This is the code that breaks stuff, right? Let's rotate this so it is on the left so you can see it better and not through my camera, behind my camera. So this is the line in question. We need to pass this conditionally, right? So I will put a to-do pass this condition. I don't know if I spelled it correctly, it doesn't matter. And also we have a default somewhere. Default. Where is it? Maybe it is in a different file. This is the commit in question. This is the default. So is it the same file or not? AWS cloud.go, and this is uploader.go. So this is a different file, right? So we cannot have this default, I think. We basically want to, I think, have an empty string if it is not specified. So previously we took the option passed on the command line. If it was not passed, if it was empty, then we pretend that it was default there. We don't want any of that. And instead we want opts profile. So directly from the argument parser, same here, opts profile, which means that by the point we get here, this could be an empty string, right? Because we got rid of the default. So we somehow need to pass this conditionally. And I don't know how to do that in Go because I don't know Go, right? That's a known meme here on the channel. So I don't know like how to do that. So I will ask the AIs. I need something in the same repo, yeah. So now I will open Claude. Still here because I've ran it runs for weeks this buffer. So let's ask it. Basically, where is it? Here. I have this code. And I need to pass this only conditionally. Yeah. Conditionally build the options slice before passing it. Yeah, that's something I had in mind, but I don't know the terminology. I don't know how to do that, and so on. So, or if you want to do that in line, no. Let's do it. It's weird, right? If we borrow this, so let's borrow this, let's put it here, and let's compare the code. I think there is some messed up indentation, right? So why this is problematic now? No new variables. Oh, right, because we already created them here. Fine. So load options, that wasn't used before, right? I think. Oh, but they are calling it somewhere else. So this seems like a standard thing that Go people know. They just call it option funcs. So let's do the same. Let's do egglot rename option. That's a weird name, isn't it? Option funcs. I would do func options, right? Maybe not, because this is a list of functions. Okay, so let's do option funcs. Let's do the same name. So basically this line and this line in a completely different function, the same. Now we have the region. That's as expected. Now, if profile is not empty, which is coincidentally the exact line we want, so we don't need to change that, then we want to append to the option funcs this, which is something we called here, right, as before. So that seems correct. And now we are calling the same function that we called before with the same context that we had before, but these are now this is basically asterisk something in Python, right? I think so. That's cool. So yeah, I think this is reasonable. I think this is reasonable. I don't know what is the correct vertical spacing there. So we define that if profile is not empty, we append to that, and then we call that. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So go build. And this, it works. It uploads. So why is it working? It defaults to the default that was there before we did our change, so somehow it defaults to default anyway. we could try if this will work with our new feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment out my credentials again. So you will look at Emacs. I will go to some, where was it? I did, Jesus. In some, yeah, here. So I am opening my AWS credentials and I'm commenting out the default credential, right? There is no default credential anymore. So in order to upload somewhere, I will need to explicitly specify my credential profile. So if I go to here, this shouldn't work anymore. It will fail after the, yeah, cool. If I go to, like, of course, if I do this, it will not work because unknown flag. We need to check out to AWS profile. Yeah, okay, go build. I was thinking, should we rebase from main? We did that recently. So go build. If I run this again, it should upload. 30, 35, 40. So it is uploading. And if I leave out the default, leave out the profile and use default, it should fail. So yeah, we can see our change works for our purposes. I don't know if it will work for the person using environment variables. I think it should, but I cannot verify because I don't use them. So we will create a pull request on the images repo and we'll ask the people to verify. So this is our change here. So git checkout AWS profile default. This will be a new branch. And we are going to put this here and this here. So we have two stage changes. This and this looks reasonable to me. And we are going to write a commit message. There is some convention. So we will use the same prefix that they use. Don't default to any profile. I think this kind of makes sense. So we will link our original feature, which was this one, right? Images. Yeah. This is the original feature. So we want to see that. But we also want to say this fixes this problem, and we need to specify a full link here because this is image builder repo and our code is in images repo. So different repo, we need to specify the whole link. So I think this is good enough commit message. You can read to all the reasoning in the comments in those pull requests, so we don't need to put anything more in the commit message, I think. And we can push this right to my fork, and we can open a pull request. From that, there is some. Did we mess up in the commit message? Kind of weird. This is weird. Let's do reword. So yeah, this should be correct. right? I mean, we have commit message, the summary, the header line. Then we have one empty line, which is correct. And then we have our description. This looks okay to me. And I rebased, so I need to the hash changed. Shoot, git push again. We need to force push this since it was already pushed, but yeah. So let's refresh this. I don't know what is the problem here. Let's manually fix that. So one more look at the code, creating options with this default option, which was there all the time. If profile is not empty, we specify also this, and then we pass the option funcs. We got rid of the detail of the default, and therefore we are not using our helper variable, but options profile straight. So yeah, it is good looking to me. I am creating the pull request. Let's link this. Let's link this where? Let's link this here. I created this one, but I only tested my use case, which is I think it should work with n variables, but I don't. It should work. I don't know how to verify. And it sounds stupid, isn't it? I created, but I only tested my use case, which is, I think it should work for, but I couldn't verify. Let's do I couldn't verify. I think, yeah, that's probably better. So let's command. I think they will be happy with the pull request. I think it looks quite good. Right. So I think we are done here. Once we get some feedback for this, maybe we will finish the other pull requests depending on it. There's a lot of pull requests to image builder, so it's a little bit messy, but yeah, this one is blocked by that bug fix. Yeah, anyway, that is all for today. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye. Oh yeah, by the way, I had some comments on YouTube. Person was interested in contributing to some Go projects. They were interested in Kubernetes and so on. I mentioned image builder is a nice place to contribute to. It most certainly is. Like, I love contributing to this project. The maintainers are so nice and helpful, and they also react to pull requests fast, and they get them merged fast, and it is moving. So yeah, it is a really nice experience to contribute to this project, even if you are complete, I don't want to say it, even for me, who is a complete idiot and don't understand Go that much. So yeah, definitely if you guys want to contribute to some Go projects, Image Builder is a great choice. yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.